The early years of his reign were marked by a desire to please the people. He sponsored lavish games and theatrical performances, seeking to win their favor. He wanted to secure his legitimacy in their eyes. He immersed himself in the arts, composing poetry and playing the lyre. He even performed on stage, much to the dismay of some senators. He craved their applause, their adoration, anything to fill the void within him. Nero sought validation in the roar of the crowd. But beneath the surface of extravagance and artistic pursuits, a darkness was stirring. The seeds of paranoia, planted long ago in the Roman court, began to sprout. They took root in his mind, twisting his thoughts. He saw enemies everywhere, real or imagined. The fear of betrayal gnawed at him relentlessly. A constant companion, he began to trust no one, not even those closest to him. The constant struggle for power had left its mark. The young emperor was beginning to unravel, slowly losing his grip on reality. His behavior became erratic, his decisions impulsive. He would swing from moments of great generosity to fits of uncontrollable rage. The weight of the empire was proving too much for him to bear. One night, during a lavish banquet, Nero became convinced that one of his guests was plotting against him. Without warning, he ordered the man seized and executed, his paranoia spiraling out of control. The senators watched in stunned silence, fear etched on their faces. They knew that Nero was becoming increasingly unpredictable and dangerous. Whispers of rebellion began to circulate in the shadows. Agrippina, witnessing her son's descent into madness, grew increasingly concerned. She had always envisioned Nero as a strong and capable ruler, but now she feared that her ambition had unleashed a monster. She tried to reason with him, to guide him back to the path of reason, but her words fell on deaf ears. Nero had become consumed by his own fears and delusions. He saw his mother as a threat, a rival for power. He began to plot against her, seeking to eliminate her influence once and for all. The palace became a hotbed of intrigue and suspicion. As Nero's paranoia deepened, he surrounded himself with sycophants and informers, men who would tell him what he wanted to hear, regardless of the truth. It trusted no one else. The city of Rome held its breath, waiting for the inevitable explosion. The emperor's madness threatened to consume everything in its path. His early years of his reign are characterized by a desire for popularity. He focused on artistic pursuits, masking the growing instability within him. But the cracks were beginning to show. The darkness within Nero was slowly eclipsing the light. His artistic endeavors became more erratic, his performances more outlandish. He seemed to be losing touch with reality, retreating into a world of his own making. The senators whispered amongst themselves, questioning his sanity. They feared for the future of Rome under such an unstable ruler. Agrippina watched helplessly as her son spiraled further and further out of control. She knew that she had played a role in his rise to power, but she never imagined that it would lead to this. The weight of her ambition now pressed down on her, heavy and suffocating. Nero's paranoia extended to his advisors and close friends. He suspected them of treachery, of plotting to overthrow him. He ordered investigations, imprisonments, and executions based on flimsy evidence. Fear permeated the Roman court, stifling dissent and fueling resentment. The people, once enamored with Nero's generosity, began to question his rule. Rumors of his cruelty and instability spread like wildfire throughout the city. The seeds of discontent were sown, threatening to erupt into open rebellion. The empire teetered on the brink of chaos. As Nero's grip on reality weakened, his reign, once promising, was now descending into darkness. The future of Rome hung precariously in the balance. Nero's early reign, marked by artistic pursuits, faded as his grip on reality loosened. His paranoia deepened, and the wise counsel of advisors like Seneca began to wane. Nero succumbed to his own desires and fears, paving the way for a darker chapter. The Great Fire of Rome erupted, a pivotal moment that would forever stain his legacy. The flames engulfed the city, consuming homes, temples, and countless lives. Panic spread like wildfire as citizens fled in terror, seeking refuge from the inferno. Rumors and accusations swirled around him, further isolating him from the Roman populace. Many whispered that Nero himself had orchestrated the blaze, seeking to rebuild Rome in his image. Whether true or not, the fire became a symbol of his detachment from his people. His behavior grew increasingly erratic, marked by extravagant spending and ruthless persecution of perceived enemies. He lavished fortunes on lavish spectacles and personal luxuries, while the common people suffered. The gap between the emperor and his subjects widened into an unbridgeable chasm. Anyone who dared to question his authority or challenge his whims faced swift and brutal consequences. This reign of terror and excess fueled widespread discontent and sparked conspiracies against his rule. Senators plotted in secret, their whispers of rebellion growing louder with each passing day. Even within his inner circle, doubts and betrayals festered, threatening to unravel his empire from within. Loyalty became a rare commodity, replaced by fear and self-preservation. As Nero reveled in his perceived invincibility, the seeds of his downfall were already sown. The fire had not only consumed parts of Rome, but also ignited a firestorm of resentment and opposition. The people, once captivated by his charm, now saw him as a tyrant, detached from their suffering. His image, once carefully crafted, was now tarnished beyond repair. The whispers turned to shouts, the discontent to open defiance. Then came the revolt, a thunderous eruption of pent-up anger that shook the foundations of his power. News of rebellious legions reached Nero, shattering his illusion of control. His carefully constructed world of opulence and adoration began to crumble around him. The foundations of his empire, once seemingly unshakable, now trembled. Panic seized him as he realized the depth of his isolation. The allies he had cultivated through fear and favor now deserted him, seeking to save themselves. His pleas for support fell on deaf ears as those around him scrambled to escape. The Senate declared him a public enemy, stripping him of his authority and condemning him to death. The pronouncement echoed through the city, signaling the end of his reign. Facing certain demise, abandoned by all, Nero was forced to confront the consequences of his actions. The weight of his decisions bore down on him, crushing his spirit. He fled Rome, seeking refuge in a villa outside the city walls, a shadow of his former self. Gone was the emperor, replaced by a desperate man clinging to life. But there was no escape from the inevitable. The long arm of Roman justice was closing in, leaving him nowhere to hide. As the soldiers closed in, Nero, in a final act of desperation, took his own life. His trembling hand reached for the dagger, ending his reign of terror. His reign, once filled with promise, ended in infamy, a cautionary tale of unchecked power. He left behind a legacy of extravagance and cruelty, forever etched in the annals of Roman history. His name became synonymous with tyranny, a reminder of the corrosive effects of paranoia. Nero's story serves as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and absolute power. It illustrates how even the most charismatic leader can succumb to the darkness within. His life was a tragedy, a descent from artistic aspirations to tyrannical madness. His reign marked a turning point in Roman history, signaling the beginning of the end for the Julio-Claudian dynasty. The echoes of his actions reverberated through the empire, shaping the political landscape for generations to come. The tale of Nero remains a chilling reminder of the fragility of power and the enduring consequences of moral decay. His legacy serves as a lesson, warning future leaders of the pitfalls of tyranny. The name Nero became a byword for excess and cruelty. His actions continue to be studied and debated, centuries after his death. The story of the Great Fire remains a testament to his potential involvement. The conspiracies against him highlight the instability of his rule. His final act of suicide underscores the tragic nature of his end. The narrative of Nero is a complex and multifaceted one. It explores the corrupting influence of power and the dangers of unchecked ambition. It serves as a cautionary tale for all those who seek to wield authority. The story of Nero is a reminder of the importance of moral leadership. It highlights the need for empathy and compassion in those who govern. The echoes of Nero's reign continue to resonate through history. His actions have shaped our understanding of tyranny and its consequences. The name of Nero remains a symbol of infamy and excess. His story serves as a warning for future generations. The lessons of Nero's life are timeless and enduring. They remind us of the importance of justice, compassion, and restraint. The legacy of Nero is a complex and contradictory one. He was both a patron of the arts and a ruthless tyrant. His reign was marked by both extravagance and cruelty. The story of Nero is a reminder of the duality of human nature. It highlights the capacity for both good and evil within us all. The tale of Nero is a cautionary one. It warns us of the dangers of unchecked power and ambition. It reminds us of the importance of moral leadership. The story of Nero is a tragedy. It is a tale of wasted potential and self-destruction. It serves as a reminder of the fragility of human greatness. The legacy of Nero is a stain on Roman history. His name will forever be associated with tyranny and excess. The story of Nero is a reminder of the dark side of human nature. It highlights the capacity for cruelty and violence that exists within us all. The tale of Nero is a chilling one. It serves as a warning against the dangers of unchecked power. It reminds us of the importance of justice and compassion. The story of Nero will continue to be told for generations to come.